Hello and welcome to the ECL Southeast Asia 1v1 stage. I'm sat here in our casting booth, not really the casting booth, control room.
Yeah, we're just in the box, basically.
In the box.
In the box today.
Robo right beside me, and
Yeah.
we're going to be casting some Age of Empires 2 for you
Today.
today.
And tomorrow.
Now,
And right now.
it's happening.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So, indeed, as interjection would say. Welcome, everyone. Yes, we have got 4 matches today, and we have 4 matches tomorrow, since the 1v1 stages of the ECL have a round of 16, and they're the only stages to have a round of 16. All the others have a round of 8s only. And what we'll do is we'll throw it over to the brackets so you guys can see what that bracket looks like and who is representing who, or what in each team. So we're going to be starting off at the top of the bracket, and we're going to be working our way down with back-to-back games and a back-to-back commentary. So who have we got at the top?
We've got Jordan, the lovely AoE Jordan, get that in the chat, versus Miguel, Secret versus Heresy at the top. And then we're going to continue down. We have Fire versus Tim, with Bazookas versus Frantic, then MBL and Zuppy, and finally Yinghao versus Say My Name.
Yinghua versus
Yinghua.
Say My Name. I don't know where you're getting the how from in Yinghua, but okay.
I'm Australian, mate.
I was
say what I
getting so
want.
tilted. Last time you and Barbecue Turkman were casting, and you were like, Yinghao. I was like, where's the how coming from?
It's Australian.
It's not there.
It is.
So that's the top half of the bracket. The second half of the bracket we will cast tomorrow at the same time, same place. We're going to have Lan representing Heresy. We're going to have Tato representing Secret. We've got Goku representing BZK. Vivi representing Frantic. Hira representing AM. Vilessa representing Suomi. Lix representing SY. And Stark representing VNA. Let's talk about Miguel. Miguel is now on Heresy.
Yeah. Miguel and
That's
Dogao had a bit of a falling out with their BZK teammates, and they decided, we want to go somewhere else. And Eddie and Spring from the Heresy team were kind enough to say, yeah, that's okay. I'm not sure if they were happy with it, but Eddie stepped down happily. Spring sort of just got kicked out of the team for Miguel and Dogao to go join Heresy, basically.
Yeah, so they've splintered off. This is obviously good for Heresy because Heresy haven't been performing particularly well. If we look at the standings, you'll see that they are firmly at the bottom of the board right now. But BZK haven't been performing that well either. This has to be a benefit for Heresy, the fact that Miguel and Dogao have joined them. Unfortunately for Heresy, the first time that they get to play with Miguel, it's against Secret in round 1. So kind of tough luck there, but maybe we'll see Heresy overtake BZK by the end of the tournament, which may be unlikely, but
yeah, it seems a bit weird to go for the team that's lower in the standings. But
that's the only place that would have them, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
So that's that. But we're starting obviously today with Miguel and Jordan. Jordan, of course, fresh from NAC and looking pretty good. He's obviously been doing some secret practice. No pun intended.
No pun.
Because, he's playing well, but we don't see him playing very often.
No, it's very much closed doors practicing. And when you see him playing rated games, like he's been playing a couple over the past 2 weeks, and that's like a really big surprise for people to actually see him playing. Because usually he's there for the ECL games, he's supporting his team, he's there for the practices, doing his Excel sheets and stuff in the background. But yeah, it's great to see him actually playing again.
Yeah, it's nice. And I don't know, he said something about retiring or something at the end of ECL. I hope not, but we'll see what he can do for Secret here. Obviously, they have to rotate through their teammates in order to satisfy the rules of the tournament.
Yep. That's what it is. Every player can only play in 2 of the different 1v1 events, so a minimum 4 people need to participate, basically, for each team.
And obviously Secret have 5 players, so they'll rotate around as they go. Let's take a quick look before we go into Jordan versus Miguel. We've got some updated statistics, and I don't have a button for that, so I'll transition manually. and we're going to take a look
Oh,
at
it
Jordan
still
and
says he's on
Miguel's
BZK.
stats. It does. He's not playing for BZK. That's a lie.
That is definitely a lie.
Miguel is playing for Heresy. Blame Robo. But he can't fix it now because he's sat next to me.
Well, I can't
Too bad.
actually change it. It's all automated.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Rip.
never mind. But either way, the stats are right. The logo is not.
Yeah. Just pretend it says Heresy and you'll all be fine.
Yeah, neither player have actually played that often, to be honest, looking at this.
Well, the stats are kind of misleading, though, because Jordan's very often just the 5th player for Secret. So in the 4v4s he plays, and otherwise, basically never. And then for Miguel, just BZK haven't gotten very far in any of the tournaments. So
Yeah, that's
often
true.
it's just they play 2 games and then they're out.
So Miguel has represented his team a lot,
In comparison to the total
yeah.
amount of games they've played.
Yeah, for Secret, they've obviously played a lot more games since they've made it further in the brackets.
Yeah. I think they've played something like 50-ish games, and Jordan's only played in 11.
Right.
So
So it's a small percentage, but if you look at this, obviously MVP stars, Jordan has 1, Miguel has 2 out of the 11 team games that they've played. And this will be the first time that Jordan has played in a 1v1 for his team.
That's correct.
As you can see, he's represented his team 11 times, and all 11 of those games were team games, as you can't get MVP stars for 1v1s. Miguel has played 3 1v1s so far for BZK. This will be his 4th. And both players, maybe, compared to their teammates at least, not performing as well, if you look at that MVP stars and read into that a little bit. But
That's true.
yeah, I'm not surprised, really, for Jordan. I'm maybe surprised about Miguel, but times will change. Obviously, now he's on Team Heresy.
Yes, he is.
So, let's go to Between Game. We are going to look at the map pool. Obviously, it's the new map pool because we are in the Southeast Asia stage now, and all of the maps can be found on the EscapeGG website. The link to that is in the chat.
There's also the exclamation mark maps command.
Yep, exclamation mark maps as well, if anyone's asking in the future. That will show you an overview of all of the maps with a little bit of flavor text as well. We've got Bog Island, Hill Fort, Riverbed, Atoll, Bog, Descent Ring, and Eastern Coastline, of which we're going to see 3 at most, because we're doing best of 3s until the later stages of the round, later stages of the tournament.
Yep.
Descent Ring, Atoll, and Bog here for Jordan 23 and Miguel.
Yep. They're fairly, I think, strange maps. Like, there's nothing really crazy about them. Like, Descending has its Nomad start, but it's being played competitively for, 4 or 5 years now. So everyone basically knows how to play the map. And then Atoll and Bog, they're mostly just your standard hybrid water maps. It's like there's some water in the middle for Atoll and there's some water on the outside for Bog, but you still need some map control to get, the extra resources that are elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, and I'm quite a fan of Descent Ring, to be honest. I remember when we played last Nations Cup, Descent Ring was UKC's home map, which was the team that I represented, of course. And,
only on the C team. Feels bad, man.
Yeah, the irony being that we never won on Descent Ring. We only ever lost Descent Ring. But we won on other maps. So, like Cross, for example. We did well on Cross. But that's beside the point. Descent Ring's a good map. Players have to pick from the Civ pool, and they have to pick from the Burmese, the Chinese, the Indians, the Khmer, the Malay, the Mongols, Portuguese, Spanish, Vietnamese, and Japanese. All of that info is on the escape.gg homepage. If you're curious, it's all there. We're going to jump into the first game, Descent Ring, in just a moment. Robo is going to start the game already, and we're going to hop into game number 1 in just a moment's time here.
Here we go. Game is just about to launch.
Awesome. When are you starting? Right now. In 3, 2, 1. We're in.
Look at that
Pog.
transition. That was so good.
It was good timing, actually. So
Yeah.
welcome, everyone. Jordan 23 versus Miguel in the round of 16 for the Escape Champions League 1v1 Southeast Asia stage. Our first map, Descent Ring, not particularly Southeast Asian, actually, compared to the rest of the pool, but should be a really nice game. It's an interesting map, and joining me for this one will be Robo.
Yes, here I am. So
Here
we've got
he is.
the standard Civ. This is a Nomad start map, so Chinese for both players, as expected. not that we really discussed it, but starting at 6 villages helps you so much on this start. You gather the wood for your TCs so much quicker, and you just get up to the next stage. You start making fire galleys to defend your fishing ships so much faster.
Yeah, this map is interesting because you start with a transport ship, not a scout, and you start on a pretty small island. On that island, you have a few, in this case, water buffalo. I guess that's what makes it Southeast Asian.
Yep.
We've got 6 of those. And of course, they have 150 food, so it's a little bit more food than your standard sheep. And then you have a rhino, which has 400 food as well, so a little bit of extra food there. That's the tweaks, let's say, for this map. But there's also quite a bit of shorefish, or in this case, box turtles, which the villagers can fish as well for that extra food boost if they want it. Usually, players will build their town center on their starting island, and the wood spawn can be quite critical in here. That TC placement, usually they put it right against the edge of the water so they can gather the box turtles or the shorefish. But it's nicer when your wood is more clumped together. I do like Jordan's wood there. And to be honest, they actually both look pretty even in terms of their wood positioning at the moment.
Yeah, especially between the positions of the TC and the lumber camp, they've got access to basically all of their wood, which is fine. That's all you need. And then as you get later in the game, you start transporting villagers off to the mainland. You start to take the other wood lines around the edges.
It's really important that you maximize the access to wood at the start of the game on this map. You can see as well both players will fish the shorefish straight away because it is just a faster food source. And you have got the water buffalo. Yes, you've even got a rhino. But when there's some juicy box turtle, who even eats turtles? That's just sick. How could they?
I guess Southeast Asia.
Well, maybe. Well, we're talking about medieval. Who eats rhino either? Good point, right?
True.
But already around the edge of the map, players doing something very important, which is scouting. Of course, since you don't have a scout, you can't scout the edge of the map very easily. The edge of the map, of course, is the natural expansion. This is where the larger wood lines are. This is where you'll find the additional gold and the additional stone. And there are
also the relics.
Also the relics. And you'll also get the water buffalo, which you can then use to scout. And look at Jordan's scouting. Isn't that glorious?
That's insane. He's already got 50% of the map.
Well, it helps that the water buffalo has a larger line of sight.
That's true. Yeah,
than a sheep anyway, right? On the regular version of this map, the sheep has... it spawns with sheep. And the sheep only has 2 line of sight, whereas the water buffalo has 3. So that really helps. Jordan sees everything, and that's going to help him so much with placement later on.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering, does Miguel even have access to any buffalo on the outside?
Let's look at his point of view. No.
Oh,
no
that
is
is
the
unlucky.
answer.
So he didn't find any with his transport ship. So he's really, really going to have troubles.
That is
in the later
really
game.
Unfortunate.
He's not going to find any resources.
Yeah. Apparently we've got no game sound, but I'm wondering why that is. Let me see if I can fix that real quick, guys. Very strange. Here we go. I'm assuming it would be that one.
Default.
Okay. Hello.
It should make sense.
Do we have sound now? Yeah. Now we have game sound. Great.
Oh, nice.
All right. Now let me know if the game sounds too loud or too low, or if there's some other issue. But thanks for letting us know, Ham. It looks like he's found one water buffalo. That's fortunate. You can get a decent amount of scouting with the transport ship, but it really helps. Just look at the fog of war for Miguel, and now I'm going to switch to Jordan. Boom.
Right, it's insane. Because most of the golds aren't right on the edge of the waterline, right? So Miguel's going to struggle to find a lot of them. He sees 2 of them, I think, which is okay, but you really need to find most of them to know where the enemy's going to go as well to attack him later in the game.
Yeah, and more to the point, not only that, but also finding the better wood lines.
Right.
If you want to find where the wood is, ideally, because if you land here and you don't have vision, where are you going, right? You just So there's also some berries around the edge and some extra rhino that might not come into effect too much. But right now, first fishing ship is out for Jordan, and Miguel doesn't even have his first fishing ship queued
just
yet.
finished the dock.
That's insane.
Well,
he does have an extra bill.
He's also got a lot of food in the bank, so it looks like he's going to try to go up with no fish and just a really fast uptime, is what I'm guessing here.
Yeah, it does look that way, doesn't it? Whereas Jordan's food is at 150.
Yeah. Oh, and Miguel's already
up. So that's a really big difference in strat for these guys. I can only presume then that Jordan had more villagers chopping wood, so
Yeah,
that he
to get
could
the dock up.
invest into the dock. Yeah.
So this kind of feels like a bit of an all-in strategy for Miguel, because like he kills Jordan's fish and hopefully kills the transport ship and tries to trap him on the island with a super fast uptime.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't do lots of damage early, he's just going to have 3 or 4 less fishing ships, so his economy is going to be weaker. He's going to struggle to move to the outside efficiently with his weaker economy.
Yeah, he's playing high risk, high reward because Miguel is going to have such an advantage on this feudal time.
Yeah.
Like, Jordan is going to click up very soon, but Miguel's over halfway to feudal already. And because they start so close together, and because they start with a transport ship, he has the scouting info. Well, I say he's got the scouting
knows
info.
where he
should
is.
have more
Right.
info soon.
Yeah.
He can just try and rush down Jordan. And if he can stop Jordan getting off his island, then he wins the game.
Basically.
I mean, you cannot survive off of this island for long.
And also, like, there's another interesting fact about Wallow Kingdoms and the HD expansions. You can now transport herdable animals. So all
Is
the
that
water
fixed
buffalo.
now?
Yeah. So the buffalo that are
good.
on the outside, you can put them in your transport ship and bring them to your island if you want to gather that food later in the game, which is kind of cool. Oh, thank you, men, for the host.
Looks like Miguel forgot multi-queue, or Jordan forgot multi-queue, but it's fine. But obviously, multi-queue we introduced as part of this tournament. But yeah, thanks, Mem, for the host. Obviously, Mem's been casting the round of 8 because we're doing Rex, and we've also opened it up so everyone can stream live now. But we're still doing the Rex on Saturday so that we can provide a consistent experience throughout the whole tournament. But yeah, Miguel off to a very fast start. He's gone straight into galleys. Now, normally, you'd expect to see fires.
Yeah.
Why might he have gone galleys here?
Fires kill fishing ships. Sorry, normal galleys kill fishing ships slightly faster than fire galleys do. And you've also got the added bonus, you can like attack Jordan's wood line on the starting islands. But the problem is that 2 galleys versus 2 fire ships are probably going to lose unless you have amazing micro.
Yeah,
Right.
and immediately you see Jordan queuing 2
Yeah.
fires to defend. So it's a considerable uptime difference, but once those fires come out, perhaps Miguel will be hard-pressed. We'll see, as he obviously kills a couple, or 1 fish at least already, and
And forces the other ones to stop working, so that's kind of a win.
kind of dead, yeah, sort of.
He just really needs to try to find that transport ship, I think.
Yeah, not only that, but, just keep a good eye on everything that Jordan's doing. He's not spread out very far yet, although with that said, he's already sent out villagers.
He's got 2
so-
transport ships done already.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So he's actually built 1 transport
No,
here.
You start with the transport, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's already transported like 2 loads of it.
Oh, I thought you meant like he built
No,
another one. I was like, huh?
no. I meant like 2 loads.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So Miguel, meanwhile, he's moving out with 1 vill.
One.
That's very inefficient.
Why would you send 1 villa?
Don't know.
That makes no sense.
I guess he does. Oh, wait, no, I know why. He doesn't want to disrupt his wood income.
Yeah, but he's going to run out of wood soon anyway, so then it's going to be a problem. That was a pretty good demo hit.
That was good. 2 for 1, and he'll finish 1 off with the fire galley. Will he? Oh, the TC!
Oh, I guess
He
so.
gets it, but he'll suicide his own fire galley. That ends up being a better trade for Jordan, I'd say. Keeps more
Slightly.
presence on the map.
Oh, is he going to deny this dock? Oh,
Close.
close.
He might find another fish. He does. But now he's obviously fighting a losing battle. At this stage of the game, Miguel's ahead by 1 villager, but he's going to start falling behind, I believe, on water, especially once he has to start sending more vills out to the edge. It's not going to be such a smooth transition to
Well,
the
we
wood
say
line.
that, but he has 400 wood in the bank, so it's not really a problem at this point.
Yeah, but, he's also now building a blacksmith.
Well, he wants
He's
fletching,
got
of
to get
course.
fletching, and his food income is 0, pretty much, once this water buffalo's gone.
That is actually a fair consideration. He's maybe going to go make a mill on the outside somewhere on some shorefish. Could be an option.
Possibly. I mean, he could go mill the berries. I mean, the problem is as well, the water buffalo for Miguel, he doesn't really have many on the edge either. So he can't really herd them all together. He does
Oh,
go
yeah.
for the mill, which is sensible. But now that's going to hurt his wood income, as he's now building a mill here and now fishing and not gathering so much wood. So I think it's kind of a slippery slope for Miguel, to be honest. But we'll see if he can find something. If he could snipe that transport,
Yeah, that would be good.
it would be a win. It would be a
He
more of a
should be,
win.
he should be able to kill it now, easily.
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah, that's dead.
For sure. It would be more of a win if you'd managed to kill it with villagers in it.
Obviously.
But that's the dream, right? That's always the dream.
That's so rare, though.
Yeah, it rarely happens, I guess. I mean, it's easier to do it when you've got galleys than when you've got fire galleys, though, to be fair.
That's true.
'Cause
Fire
the-
galleys, yeah.
The fire galleys are slower than the transport, so galleys can at least hit and run it. But yeah, Jordan keeping his army together, taking another good fight there.
Really good trades everywhere. And he could also try to get over there and get Miguel's transport ship, and that's going to hurt Miguel more than it hurts Jordan, I think.
Oh, he's going for it. Under the TC, though. He'll have to back away. But
honestly, I would just...
Is he just going? Yeah, he's just going for it, man.
Kill it anyway. Oh, why are they in the transport?
What?
Is he trying to, like, debate him or something?
Miguel's repairing it.
And there was a villager in it as well.
No way.
Oh.
I really thought that Miguel there was, like, going to keep it alive with the repairs and just keep the TC firing.
Yeah, just to troll him a little bit.
He took a lot of damage on his navy there, but ultimately, I think you're right. It's worth it, right? He kills the transport, and that means that now Miguel's either got to stop production of military to build another one and invest 125 wood into training it, and that's, again, going to slow him down a little bit on the water. Military-wise, they're actually reasonably close, though, so I think Miguel's done well to sort of turn this... I don't want to say rocky start, but risky start into something that's not going to cost him long term.
Right. Well, can we just quickly check how much food Jordan has in the bank?
Sure, we can have a look. He's 100 food, so it's pretty close.
They're pretty even then on the food count. No one's giving up to Castle Age anytime soon, really. It's very much just a water fight at the moment.
Yeah, and galleys are going to start to reign supreme now as well. I'd be very surprised to see the addition of any more fires, as the galley numbers are looking quite good. We get to see that little galley dance.
Yeah, it's so well known for AOC water.
Yeah, I missed it, to be honest. I missed it. But, it's interesting to see how much longer Jordan had the villagers gathering the water buffalo under his TC.
Yeah.
They started with the same number, but he's just finished. And Miguel finished his water buffalo ages ago.
Right, and he's already farming, which is
all
not
because of
good.
the fish.
Yeah.
Jordan's got a lot more resources in the bank right now as well, or a little bit more. Starting to get a surplus. I think, I was going to say, his wood's looking like it's time to add a fourth dock, and he's going over to do that now. Miguel, fourth dock anytime soon? Maybe
I
not.
doubt it, because he had to spend the extra wooden farms, the extra mills.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
those idle villages that are just sitting there.
Yeah, Miguel's food income is horrible right now.
Yeah.
Because these shorefish are going to run out here, and then he's going to eat the long-distance shorefish.
That's still okay for that one. It's not too bad.
Oh, but Miguel going to take a bad fight, I think. Jordan's got way more numbers here. Miguel's getting caught out as they sort of mash their galleys together and hope for the best.
Yeah.
But Jordan comes out on top there as well. So these small victories around the map for Jordan just sort of adding up to be quite considerable for him.
But this rating is pretty good.
That is nice. That is nice.
And somehow Jordan's actually 3 villages up on Miguel.
Yeah, he was behind for a little while actually, but I think he's just taken the lead due to Miguel's food shortage.
Food income. Yeah.
And it looks like he will get one villager kill over here, but Jordan should push this away now.
Those villagers repairing the galleys, so that Miguel's not really doing as much damage as he could be.
Yeah, he still should win that though, but he'll need to bring another galley over. And Jordan on the water now, 14 military. Miguel with 11. He's got a 2 villager lead as well.
Jordan's buying some food,
That's
so I think
Castle
he
Age.
might be going up soon. Oh, he just needs a little bit of gold.
Yeah, he's got it.
This is not looking good for Miguel.
No, because once Castle Age comes in and you lose the water, you lose your TC.
Basically.
War Galley, Bodkin Arrow, all these villagers here become trapped and then they die. If anything, a faster castle time on this map is much more important than a faster feudal time, because
it's so much more deadly.
Things are evenish, it really is deadly. This could be a finishing blow if the Castle Age comes in and Miguel can't whittle these galley numbers down. That's going to be hard because he's already down by 2.
Yeah, exactly. Because normally in this game, you both get up at around the same time as Castle Age. You start making TCs on the outside, but when you're this far behind, you have to delete your TC basically, which means you're not making villages for 2 minutes or something.
And you got to rebuild it around the edge.
Yep, and you fall even further behind again. And look how much food he has in the bank. Sorry, wood. He's got 300 wood and only 100 food.
He's going to throw down a market. He's
Try
been
to buy
housed
his
a
way
few
up.
times as well, actually, Miguel. This is the second time I'm watching the house marker flashing. But, this is a problem because once that market comes up, he can sell some wood, he can buy some food. It's not good. It's not good for Miguel. He also only has 100 stone to sell as well if he wanted to sell stone.
Right, but that's the same for both players.
True.
Unless you mine some stone, which is always an option.
Yeah.
It is really close to your
Jordan's
TC.
Absolutely. And Jordan's still taking the water buffalo.
He's taking rhinos now.
Rhino. He's finished his water buffalo at the edge, but it's so good for him.
That is so much free food there.
It
Right.
makes such a difference.
Like we hear like 4 or 5 buffalo there, and those 2 rhinos. That's like 1,000 food, and just instant GG as soon
Yeah.
as he sees him in Castle Age.
Instant. Miguel was so far behind up to Castle that he couldn't he couldn't really save himself at that point. The Castle Age, like we said, it's so much more deadly than the Feudal Age. The Feudal Age from Miguel was pretty quick. It allowed him to kill one of Jordan's fish and deny one some fishing for a little while. But as soon as Jordan was able to defend with his own fires, then Miguel kind of lost that opportunity to do some big damage. As we saw earlier on as well, the scouting for Jordan paid off in the end. He may have had some element of luck there, finding so many water buffalo, but the fact that he had them, the fact that he could come and mill this and take water buffalo and take these rhino for so long meant that he had plenty of surplus food to go up to the Castle Age. Meanwhile, Miguel seeding farms on his home island, unable to get that food surplus, unable to click up, and in the end, a little bit starved of resources, allowing Jordan 23 to get that win in the Castle Age.
Yeah. This is very much, I think, a skill-intensive map. It's not a sort of game where there's lots of comeback mechanics. It's very much you need to have a good Dark Age and a good Feudal Age, and you need to know what you're trying to do. Right? It's not like Arabia where you can just build a ton of walls if you think you're behind and just sort of try to boom out of it or something like that.
Yeah, there's no escaping, really.
Not really.
No. So, great game from Jordan. Very quick game, actually. 27 minutes for a Nomad start as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick. And, as I say, it like, well, you said it's really a mechanical game. If you're ahead, then you're going to stay ahead. And it's really difficult to, equalize at that point.
So Jordan clearly prepared for this map. Because the way the map drafting works, the higher seeded player based on the standings picks the first map, basically. Mm-hmm. So Jordan chose this map, so he's obviously prepared it. He knows exactly what he needed to do to win this game. He
did, and he won. So it paid off as Jordan 23 gets the victory on Descent Ring, and or Decent Ring. I don't know.
I think it's Descent Ring.
I think it's Descent Ring too, but some people call it Decent Ring, and it's quite a decent map, so I would agree with them. Looking at the military stats is so interesting, because Miguel had more units killed, but Jordan had the greatest military potential.
You also need to remember that 4 of those kills are fish. There was 2 or 3 bills in there as well. So, like, in terms of military trading, I think it's very even. Most of those extra kills are things that don't matter in quotation marks as much.
The fishing ships had already kind of paid for themselves at that point. So and then you look at the eco, and it's Jordan across the board.
So far ahead.
Look at the difference in food. 500 additional food. That's huge.
No, that's why I was able to get up so much faster.
And then only 300 additional wood, but able to turn them into boats, which eventually wins you the game.
Yeah.
So GG's for Jordan as we go into game number 2 in just a moment. We've got Atoll up next. It's a map which you may have not seen before, but it is a map which is I think it's quite interesting. It's kind of like the Socotra of water maps. In a way. That's how I describe it.
I think that's a very accurate description. It's a very small map. There's not a lot of space. There's tons of water around the edges. It's very claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Pushing
very
in the
small.
middle. Yep.
Okay, well, if you want to start that one up, we'll go into Atoll now. Why delay when we've got recorded games all day? Let's go. Atoll incoming. And obviously it's best of 3, so it's already match point here for Jordan.
If you can win this one.
Yeah, maybe. It's obviously Miguel's home map. So we're going to go in-game to Miguel's home map for game 2. It's Atoll, and it's a map which we'll look at in more detail in just a moment. But playing down to the south of the map, leading this series 1-0, it's Jordan 23. He's got the Japanese down here, Robo. And up to the northwest in the red, it's Miguel playing as the Japanese as well. Quite a clear meta game, perhaps, for this map.
Yeah, I think out of the remaining map pool civs, Japanese are clearly the best pure water civ. Their fishing ships work faster, they've got more HP, and they save a bit of wood during the early game, which helps when you're fighting for water.
Yeah, for sure. And that's going to sort of add up. And, I think the Japanese all round are actually, a pretty decent civ as well. when you all things considered. But obviously their strength on water is really going to be the primary reason for picking them here.
Yeah.
So the map Atoll, we've not seen this before. This isn't this map's been around for a while.
It's quite an old map, but it wasn't really played competitively
No,
for quite a while.
I think I remember seeing one game on it years ago.
I think it was in like War is Coming around that era, but because there was
2015.
Yeah, but there were so many maps then in the map pools. Like you had like 40 home maps to pick from.
Oh, that's true.
So,
that's true.
So many of the maps just never got played because they were weird and
we're
strange.
a lot more restrictive with the map pools now. But yeah, this is one of those weird and strange maps, I guess. Everyone, at least in a team game, everyone, but both players start on quite a small landmass. They've got gold, they've got stone, but that's it.
Basically, yeah. And there's
as
some wood.
far as their natural sort of gold and stone is. They've got lots of wood, which is important for a water map, especially since, there's not that much land on this map. And then you've got a rhino here. You've got a second rhino with extra food,
I think there's
of course.
a third rhino as well somewhere else.
And the third rhino.
one.
Yeah. So you've got lots and lots and lots of natural food.
Yes.
Which is good, especially for water maps. And you've got the water buffalo as well. And then in the middle of the map, that's really where the gold is.
Yeah, all the extra golds, and there should be some extra stones, I think.
There's no extra stone.
No extra stone, just
the gold. And I think that's a good thing because you don't want to have too much stone on a map like this. Otherwise, you end up with a lot of like castles.
And castles and towers all around the shores and stuff like that.
And you want to be careful with having too much stone on a map where space is a premium. Because we've seen what happens on maps like Socotra, where it is just a tower rush haven.
Yeah. If you're able to get to towers, you just go.
Yeah, right. So it's kind of limited in that respect. But with water being such a big factor on this map, taking up at least 45%, maybe more of the map space.
Yeah, which is really strange.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's very strange compared to other maps. Like even like Baltic, which is like our escape home map sort of meme. There's only 20-ish% of the map that's water in the middle.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's still tons of land all around the edges. Whereas here, if you have water control, there's not a lot of land that is safe.
Yeah.
Right? Because like galleons range so far into these little islands.
I mean, you can cross this, I believe, with galleons as well.
Yeah, you can.
So you can really, with a full ranged upgraded galleon, you can range pretty much everything with these indents and these bays. So water control is absolutely paramount. But at the same time, the way the map is, I mean, if you look where Miguel's docked and you look where Jordan's docked, they're kind of on complete opposite sides from each other.
That's true.
The rush distance isn't as big as a map like Baltic,
no.
where there's a lake in the middle. You both know you've docked on the front because there only is a front.
Yeah. And you're just across the pond basically from each other.
So the rush distance is super small, and that obviously influences the feudal time and the aggression that you see from these players. Now, with the rush distance being so long on this map, I wonder if maybe they'll open with galleys.
If they scout where the enemy dock is, that villager nearly died. That was risky.
He's got loom.
He's got loom. So. That's true. But yeah, like if you scout that the enemy dock is the other side of the map, then they might slow down, go up to feudal a little bit later, make some extra fishing ships, and try to play it more of a fish boom map, maybe like a semi-FC sort of strat.
Yeah, a bit more like migration or something.
Yeah,
could be risky because of the ranging potential of galleys, but I think at the start you're fairly safe. You're looking at where the gold and the wood lines are right now. These guys could maybe get ranged from here, but
Miguel's feudal age galleys, it's not a big deal, right?
It's not as much, no, for sure.
It's really late game where it starts to become a worry, I think.
So one thing I noticed, obviously, Jordan did loom. Miguel has not done loom yet, so he's off to a categorically better start, you could say. But Jordan is getting quite aggressive with his scout, losing out a little bit there.
Yeah, maybe with the hill bonus, he can try to get back into it.
Turn it around. There we go. And now Miguel still keeps the lead. So Miguel has his second dock up as well. Jordan also just completing his second dock. But if we look at the fish count, already Miguel has a couple of extra fish out here.
He had his second dock up far faster. And it looks like, is he maybe going to wall the middle?
It looks like it. I mean, it's an easy wall to make. He's already walled the left, and now he's going to wall across the right as well. So I think I like that from Miguel. I think that's really sensible. I guess he wasted a little bit of villager time, but he's going to trap Jordan's scout
I
here.
think that's the most valuable part at this point, right? Being able to kill off the scout.
He doesn't really trap it.
Well,
Oh, no, he does.
It's stuck in his base, so it's gonna die at some point.
True. I mean, Jordan kind of trapped himself there, but yeah. I think also I really like the fact that he's come forward because he's going to actually secure this goal quite nicely.
Yeah.
At least for later. But he is spending some villager time to do it, whereas Jordan obviously just the obvious quick wall across the middle and closes that. He loses his scout in the end, which is a good win for Miguel. Miguel's faster to feudal. He's one fishing ship behind, but I like Miguel's position right now, to be honest, Robo. I do like it.
Just the biggest problem is that his 2 docks are on each side of the island. And, ooh.
Yeah, chat, noticing that one.
That villager is trapped.
Yeah, that villager is trapped. The relic.
Debated.
Well, that's so. I mean, ignore the fact that Jordan's 26 vills.
And he's only 25 vills.
Yeah, he's only at 25.
Huh.
I wonder. I mean, what's he gonna do? Build a transport ship?
No.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
Delete the dock.
I think it would make more sense to delete the dock in Dark Age and rebuild it instead of make a transport ship.
I'd say wait. I'd say leave her alive.
And just get the relic later.
Eventually, you'll either get the relic or build a transport ship, and then you'll grab her. I just wonder, is she an idle villager? No.
No, she's not trying to fish, right?
Yeah, so it's not going to be... I mean, it's a chance Jordan won't notice because she's not an idol.
That's true.
And she's kind of hidden. I mean, I know Jordan is a pro player, but he's not Twitch chat.
No, of course
right?
not.
I mean,
no one's as good as Twitch chat.
everything.
Oh, that's an early blacksmith.
Yeah, it's a
And
market,
market
as well,
okay,
so it's
Jordan's
fast
going
castle.
FC.
And I think the same. Yeah, same for Miguel. I don't think you... Like I said before, the rush distance is kind of long. So playing this a bit more like a migration style is probably the way to go, yeah.
Especially considering you have to go for the middle later. Like, if you kill their fish, but they take full control of the middle, it's kind of a trade-off. You're winning early, but they're probably going to win the late game with all the extra gold.
That's true. Well, yes, but having the water also allows you to range the middle as well.
But once they get to Castle Age, they can come back onto water, right?
Yeah.
It's only a temporary win.
It's definitely easier to come back on the water with the fire ships now than it was, I believe. You know, you used to see it where it's like, oh, one player loses water and they just call GG.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I feel like if you lose water, you can still come back. But there's a fire ship from Jordan, and he's going to find himself a fishing ship. Look how long it takes to kill these guys now.
Right, the Japanese fishing ships just take forever.
They're insane.
The double HP is so good.
And of course, they buffed the fishing ships in general against fires, right?
Yeah.
They do
so
less
they take
damage now. So that's good for Miguel, and allows him to react a little bit later and still get away with it, which is nice.
For sure.
So, yeah, Jordan at the moment, he's starting to go into fires. I'm kind of surprised to see fires. I really thought we'd actually see galleys straight away.
Just like on Descent Ring.
Kind of,
Last
like
game,
on Descent Ring, we saw that. I'm wondering if there's any particular reason. Maybe they just think, fire's going to be stronger at the early game.
I think definitely in the early game they're better until you've got that massive galleys. But, he's got 7 or 8 galleys by now, so it could have been 7 or 8 galleys to instantly get War Galley as well.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think also in Castle Age with the War Galley upgrade, Fire Ship is more useful than the War Galley upgrade.
What do you mean?
Like it provides more of a benefit for fire galleys up to fire ships than it does for galleys up to war galleys.
Oh, right, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, that's true. And I think at the moment, Jordan is pulling ahead here again. He's got 11 fish versus 7. He's got 8 military versus 6. And he's got 29 villagers versus 28. So it's looking like the game is once again favoring Jordan. He's really good at getting these early advantages.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah.
Miguel's running here. And I think it all comes down to the fact that Jordan struck first.
Yeah, well, and he also got the Castle Age slightly faster, so we got the fire ship upgrade slightly faster. And once that happens, Miguel can't fight until he gets the upgrade. Oh, he just wasted that demo.
That was a waste. It's like, we must kill the dock.
I was thinking, it's so good, we're going to see like a nice demo hit soon. No, just tanks it right into the...
I'm really impressed by Jordan. Like, mechanically, these maps, like you said in Descent Ring, like, these maps really are sort of like mechanically minded maps. If you have good mechanics, you're in for a good time. And it's so... I don't want to say shocking, but it's kind of, I don't want to say surprising either. I'm trying to find the right word for this. I guess it's nice to see Jordan being mechanically better than Miguel here.
Yeah, maybe he's starting to get back to his old skill level.
Right.
Somewhat.
But it's shocking to me because he doesn't play anywhere near as much as he used to. And Miguel never took a break. They're just a testament to how good of a player Jordan really is.
True.
You know, I think that's incredible. And we've got the War Galleys coming in now, but no fletching or bodkin yet. Fletching's on the way. Demo shots are a bit meh. But yeah, Jordan just starting to pull ahead.
Starting to ever so slowly get there. And I don't think either player is adding TCs at this point. I would assume they're both saying one TC, lots of boats.
Yeah, I mean, where would you put your...
Well, I say that,
okay.
and no, I'm wrong.
Jordan's got the second TC up. That's even more impressive.
Right.
The fact that he's already got his second TC up and he's maintaining a roughly even situation on the water. That's really impressive. It might cost him slightly. This could give Miguel an opportunity. But at the moment, that's going to work out long term really well for Jordan. Demo?
Could have been.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
Yeah, that's it exactly.
It's always the same. And I think as well, since Jordan's transitioning into War Galleys nice and early, this is going to pay off now because he will have that better combo on the water. The fire ships in front to tank a little bit. The War Galleys firing from the back.
And then a sneaky demo or two in the middle just to jump
blending
out and surprise someone.
Yeah, the ninja demo here looking for its next target. But Miguel's retreating once again, and meanwhile, this is where Miguel needs to be pushing.
Right, yeah.
You know,
to punish Jordan for making the extra TC.
Right. That's a lot of resources invested that Miguel does not have or hasn't spent yet and could be spending on water instead. Look at Miguel's wood right now.
Oh, that is nasty. Like, he's just got careening as well, so he's getting the +1 armor for his fire ships, which is good versus the galleys. But
yeah. Wow, I mean,
an extra dock or something would have been so much better, I think, at this point.
Yeah,
keep spamming it out there.
Yeah, right.
Keep pushing hard.
Win the water at least. He's added his second TC now. He's put that in the middle by the looks of things. That's going to be on the gold there. So, you know, that's paying off a little bit. But it's so much later than Jordan. Jordan's already got an 8 villager lead now. 7 villager lead. But that's still... It's insane. I mean, I'm surprised to see Miguel let so many resources float here. Whereas Jordan, when I checked before, he was really spending his resources well. And, you know, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Converting your resources into military, into things that work for you later on. University coming up and ballistics coming in now. I don't even think Miguel has university yet.
Well, he doesn't need it. He's only making fire ships, right?
True, but he's going to want to move away from fires eventually.
You say that, but all that I see are more and more fires.
True. I mean, he did invest in careening, like you say, so that's going to help the fires. But, yeah, I don't know, man. This is going to be hard. 3 demos coming in. The fires are a little bit spread out, a little bit all over the place.
But these could be good.
Not too bad, not too bad. Oh, right there. That's how you do it.
That's just 4 demos killing each other.
Take the demos out of the picture.
Yeah, I think at this point, Miguel should be able to win this fight if he can get us around on these War Galleys. The problem is if Jordan keeps doing this micro, this is going to be rough.
It's, well, the problem with fires as well is the way that they sort of get stuck on each
you need to
other.
split them up, so like there's 2 or 3 coming around from different sides so that they get in there.
Oh, that demo shot. That's good as well.
That was pretty good as
that
well.
Hits 3 or 4 demos with fires. This one's going to get out of there as well. Jordan now with a 7 military lead.
And 7 villagers.
7 villager lead. And a fishing advantage pretty much for the whole game. This looks like, once again, Jordan domination as he takes a 1,000 score lead. That's incredible. And really an amazing performance from Jordan here. Against Miguel as well. You know, Miguel is not a bad player by any means. You know, this guy is a fantastic player.
He's won Nations Cups, right?
Exactly. And Jordan just comes in and he's making this look really straightforward.
It's just pure dominance, basically, at this point. Like, if Jordan keeps pushing hard, he'll probably be able to click up faster because he's got better economy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at his food. He's already got an extra 400 in the bank.
Yeah. So he's potentially saving up from fuel age already at this point.
Yeah. At this point, Imperial Age would end the game. He's just in a monastery, so
He's getting that runk.
He's gonna
get the villager
he's
out.
gonna get the relic. He's gonna free the villager.
Hoggers.
Obviously, it wasn't a priority for him. I mean, I think his priorities are in the wrong place, to be honest.
Right, that villager is.
He's more interested in video games than saving the fair maiden.
Yeah.
I mean, how long has he been Castle Age for? Long enough to make a monk by now.
How long has he been using Tinder trying to find a girl?
Too
There's
long.
one right there.
Too long. 3 TCs for Jordan as well, and we've got the university for Miguel now. That's at least 4 minutes behind.
And he's only just switching into war galleys now. He's realized, okay, the fires aren't working anymore. But he's always going to be, 20 war galleys behind at this point, basically. Especially if these ones all just die.
Yep, and Jordan's up to Imp.
Just about.
Now.
There we are. Yeah.
There you go. It's happening.
That's going to be GG as soon as he hits Imp, I think.
Kind of like last game when he
Yeah.
hit Castle, it was GG.
I
It's
think
going to be
Miguel's
similar.
probably got 400 food maybe at most in the bank.
Miguel's only on 2 TCs as well, so
100
he's maybe going to surplus a bit more food because he's not spending so much on villagers. But yeah, Jordan's expanding his docks, adding more production, and he's saved
Freed the villager.
oh,
Oh, no, she's still there.
Has he noticed? She is idle now.
Okay, so we'll find her eventually.
He will get there. Look at that. She's fished all of those box turtles. Look.
I don't know how though. Since she hasn't been dropping the food off. Oh, the fish
Fishing
did it.
ships. Noob. Noob. Uh-oh. Okay, this is a problem. If Jordan comes in here now, look at the damage he can do
Yeah,
from
those
the
two wood
water.
lines.
He can hit this one, he can hit this one, he can start to take out docks, and Miguel is just going to hole up in here and try and hold, but he is outnumbered. Fortunately, he's got the houses.
Yep.
Natural distraction. I mean, if you're on a boat and you see enemy boats in front of you, of course you're going to hit the house first. Priorities.
Like, they've been watching too much AoE3 where it's really valuable to kill the houses.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, Robo just dropping the AoE3 knowledge bombs here.
Yeah.
Nice demo, he gets 2 there as well. And Jordan right now tanking quite a bit, but he's just running for it, closing the gap. He knows he's going to win. Careening's coming in.
And he's getting kill nets as he goes into release.
It helps with the long distance
At
fishing.
some point.
And careening and Imperial Age. So once Jordan wins this fight, well, I'm assuming he's going to win this fight. He might not because reinforcement distance
if he
for
doesn't
Miguel
win,
is
he's gonna
faster.
win once he gets him.
Exactly. That's where I was eventually going to get to. Miguel calls GG immediately.
GG, well played.
Well played indeed. Jordan 23 cruising to a 2-0 victory versus Miguel. Very well played for the German superstar who is Jordan 23. He even did guard tower, and he was dropping a castle in the middle of the map as well. On top of all of that, very impressive stuff from Jordy, and a very good victory from him as well. Castle from Miguel was also coming up, but Jordan would have secured a lot more of the map long term with his castle placement, and of course, being in the Imperial Age so much sooner than Miguel, who hadn't even clicked up, would have resulted in Miguel losing that castle anyway to the trebuchets, which would have come out from Jordan 23. So well played to Jordan. He does go through to the round of 8, and we'll take a look at the bracket in just a second. But first of all, we'll take a look at the achievements here to just have a quick look at the post-game stats. So there you have it. Jordan this time does kill more units and has a much larger army overall as well, using that military potential to do some big damage. And the eco again for Jordan. Look at the difference in food.
Yeah,
That's
it's
insane.
Like it's not just the fish, right? Like he must have done something differently to get 3,000 or 2,500 more food.
Well, I mean,
Right.
he had an extra 3 fish for most of the game.
But like
That definitely helps.
Yeah, but that's like 100 food every 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's not
Right.
3,000 food.
No,
I mean, other than that, he added his 3rd TC sooner.
but that costs. Well, I guess that does generate more food because you need more food to keep them both working.
Yep.
But that's so much more food.
Very, very, very
It's
good.
like Miguel must have been investing far more into extra docks. I guess he did lose a few docks as well, so he had to replace those to keep up production.
Yeah, maybe didn't have as many farms down. Hard to say, but then the villager difference, it's considerable by the end of the game.
10 mils, 11 mils. It's not that much.
Yeah. But, it's over the space of a long
Yeah.
time. It adds up. These small things add and add and add. But let's take a look at the brackets. Well played to Jordan. He'll progress through to the round of 8, as we said. And he'll be facing the winner of our next match, which is Fire versus Tim. That's BZK versus Frantic. Looking forward to that one. I mean, we saw Fire at NAC. You have good reviews of Fire.
Fire's always a fun guy to be around. He didn't necessarily play as well as he wanted to, but he's a cool guy.
Yeah, and I think this will be, I have to give a prediction. I think Tim will have the edge. Maybe it would even be a little upset if Tim doesn't beat Fire here. But it's a best of 3. It's a small map pool,
anyway, right?
and it could go either way because of that. So, yeah, Fire versus Tim coming up next. Let's have a look at the
maps.
Yeah, all good. Have a look at the maps. We have got to update the scoreboard at the top, obviously. But we're going to be having Eastern Coastline, Atoll, and Bog. So looks like Atoll and Bog somewhat popular because they were the maps which were chosen last time as well. But this time around we get Eastern Coastline first, which is another map which we haven't seen yet in the tournament. Looking forward to that. We'll be back in just a minute, though. I'm just going to put a quick 1-minute timer up. Just going to take a quick toilet break here, and we'll be back in a minute's time.